Hey y'all, I am currently at my big pond, and if you've been watching my channel, it's possibly in my shorts, but we have two different ponds, one being a short pond and the other being a big pond. The big pond back here contains koi fish as well as some goldfish. But let's kind of look in here and see what's going on. If you see, I have one lily. I can't remember the name of the lily. It does have pink flowers. In fact, we do have one pink flower on its way up and soon to blossom. That's the flower from the lily. And these lilies, they have this darker underside or splotchy underside. I really do love it. I love it so much. Now, I think I might have seen a second flower coming up, if not a lily leaf coming up. I think it could be a flower down there. Yes, that looks like a flower next to the leaf. So the folded portion is the leaf, and then there's a flower bud also at the base of that leaf. Other than that, we have all sorts of water plants or aquatic plants, like the water lettuce, which I think water lettuce is fantastic. I love this stuff. It spreads quite easily. I don't know what this one's called, but it ended up in my pond and just never left. There's probably a good 3 or 4 different types of plants in here. Matter of fact, there could be like 5. We see some water hyacinths in the background there. Those guys have purple flowers from time to time. I do have to come in here and remove a ton of water hyacinths because they spread really, really easy and can take over this pond without any effort. And I usually just throw them out into the garden and let them compost themselves down. Currently, the fish are hiding, so we can't really see anything down here. There's like, I want to say, a good 5 caves inside this pond. One I'm standing on. This is one of the caves here. Besides those plants over there, I do have 2 others, which I'm kind of forgetting the name to. I know this is a water hawthorn. Water hawthorns get like these white flowers in wintertime. So I might not be able to see the flowers until then, or maybe until like a few months from now. Maybe a good 5. Then we have I believe this is called water poppy, if not water tulip, something like that. It's pretty fun. I like it. It's got like these little leaves that just poke up from the water surface. It doesn't want to be put too far underneath the water. It would prefer to be like a good 6 to, I think, 12 inches, if not less than that. I think it's barely supposed to be covered, honestly. As for the water hawthorn, I think this guy needs to be in between 6 and 12 inches deep, possibly. And then as for the water lilies, I think the water lilies can be placed a good 30 inches deep to about 6 inches deep. If you are interested in seeing the fish, I do believe I have a couple of shorts showing the fish. They don't like to come out when I'm around the pond, and they also don't like to come out that much during the day. They usually come out during nighttime. It's kind of time they even do feeding. In fact, I feed them this koi fish food. I think this is the name, hickory, something like that. But it's supposed to be good for their coloration. Slide as well, because I gotta toss a few pebbles in there. Down you go. And now the fish are ready to eat. But let's head over to the smaller pond. I'm gonna show you what's in there. That's what I call the frog pond. And honestly, I love the frog pond. It's a small pond, a good 3x3. It doesn't have a lot going on for it. I think we only put like 2 different plants in here. As you can see, we have the water lettuce as well as the I don't know what this is called, but I heard it's called something frog, something about frogs. Oh, I didn't even notice that there was one water hyacinth in there. I tried to keep the water hyacinths out because it kind of plagued this area and took over. Then I couldn't see the tadpoles anymore. In fact, that's the reason why we call this the frog pond. I put in a ton of tadpoles. I want to see if I can find a few for you guys. They tend to duck down underneath the water when I first arrive. In fact, what I'll do is I'll move the plant matter away so that they can re-emerge, because as I stay around, they kind of get accustomed and used to me being in the area, and then they got to come up for air anyway, so we'll see them pretty soon. And already there they are. That one's actually a little difficult to see, but it's directly in the middle of the screen. If I can point to it, it's right there, if you can see it. So that's one making its way to the surface. And I want to see if I can see a few others coming up. Oh, look down there. There's one tadpole right near the rocks. It's directly in the middle of the screen. If you can see that, it's kind of chilling at the base. Now, these guys, from what I read up, they do eat, I believe, insects and plant matter. So I've seen them nibbling on top of plant debris. I definitely forgot that I had one other plant inside this pond, and it is a water lotus. So if you see the little pads there, that's what the water lotus looks like. And it's, let me point to it. This right here and here, as well as there. But eventually, all the frogs or tadpoles in here should be growing legs in the next maybe 5 to 4 weeks. I'm starting to see some good development on them. Like, some of them have gotten some girth to them, so they've bulked up a bit, and I really like that. These guys are a bit skittish, so it's kind of hard to see them, but at least we see them more than we see the fish, so I mean, that's cool. If you are interested in knowing where I got the tadpoles from, I got them from a nursery nearby my home. They just so happened to have a pond filled with plants for purchase, and I asked them if I could take some of the tadpoles. I was informed that these were green tree frogs, which I thought was pretty fascinating, and I hope they actually are when they grow up. And I'm honestly excited to see how these guys pretty much develop over time, and I hope you guys are as well. So if you wish to see future videos on this, hit that subscribe and like button and let me know what you think in the comments. Peace.